Alright, hello and welcome back to the Bean Talking podcast. On this show we talk to people that have done things that is undeniably the best, and this episode is no different, where we talk to Muscat, otherwise known as Aussie Money Man. He looks into the most creative ways that you can make money, be it through affiliate marketing, focus groups, match betting, and even as an extra, acting in different sort of things. There's a lot of value in here if you're looking to create some sort of side hustle, or you just want a little bit extra money on the side. Really looking forward to you guys to listen to this one, so let's get into it. Nicholas, hey, we finally got there, mate. Thanks for being on, the 12th guy on the Bean Talking podcast. My sum up of you're a guy that makes YouTube videos about money and finance, specifically around Australia. You've done some e-commerce and written a number of ebooks as well, giving people value in that sense. But yeah, for people that don't know you or haven't come across your Instagram or YouTube, what's a summary of yourself, I guess?
Sure thing. Yeah, thanks, Tim. So we did do a lot of back and forwards to get this done, but we're here. Pretty much I am quite young. I'm 19, and I've basically started making money online since I was quite young. So I started when I was 13, 14. And that was through affiliate marketing. And as Tim mentioned, I've written some ebooks, and I've also got a YouTube channel, which was derived from a blog, which started to get some views, which is also under my sort of alias, Aussie Money Man. So that's pretty much me.
That's awesome, man. So I didn't realize you were 19. Like the conversations that we've had, you've come across as much more mature than that. And that's definitely a compliment on my behalf. People say I'm balding, so that's that's my old thing, being 24. But I guess that fascinates me, where you said you started at 14 making money online, and because of the technology and the age that we live in, what first got you into that? Did you want a lollipop down the street, or was there just a general, I don't know, interest in making money, and you did the classic Google search? What was the real draw to it?
I think the goal was mostly just due to sort of, I guess, my upbringing. I was made to be very independent at a young age. So I was 13, I started working at a fruit shop, 14 at McDonald's and fruit shop, and then 15 at KFC as well. So I was working these 3 jobs, and even at 13, I was thinking, I didn't like this, I didn't like what I was doing. So I jumped on the internet, and I was, even then, it's a lot bigger now, but there's all these people going, you can make money online. You can see the ads everywhere. And I just kind of thought to myself, I'm like, well, if I can make money online, I don't have to get up at 6 a.m. and go work at this fruit shop. So that was pretty much the thinking.
Yeah, it's the classic entrepreneur that doesn't like being told what to do, what to wear, and they can be.
It's almost a bit of stubbornness in a way. Like you just don't want to be what to do, but yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So my first question on that is, if you're doing research and you can very quickly find the scammy parts of the find money online, what do you think it was that made you find the genuine? And because I've watched a couple of videos and there's some really good tips there, but yeah, did you stumble across maybe a scammy one and then red lights went off, or how do you think you stayed away from all that stuff?
Well, I'm a lot better now, in hindsight, just hindsight 2020. But I did, when I was a kid, do a 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 silly things. So I was actually selling things on eBay when I was younger, and there's a lot of eBay scams, and now I can pick them. But back then, I probably got done once or twice, and stuff like that. And I probably put my emails into a few things I shouldn't have. So I wouldn't say I was perfect, but I did learn. Like now, you won't get me in a million years. I've been there and done that, right? So I think like the things that you look at really is just social proof, right? And it was a lot harder to fake social proof then than it is now. So you can kind of fake lights and stuff. But even then, you look through, and if there's just 96 comments that are, real generic, saying this is amazing, buy here, which generally, it's just you reach out to other people. A good example is I found this investment. It was crowdfunding real estate. And I was very, when I first started, I was very standoffy. So I looked at all the comments, and I just straight up messaged like 16 people that had commented on it saying, have you done this? Does it work? And they all said, no, don't do it. It's crap. So that's probably the best way.
Well, that's a good way to do it anyway. You actually reach out to the person that has it. I actually, I saved a friend of mine from purchasing a certain course by an American person where I'd bought into it, and then I'd gone through it and just like, oh, this is absolute garbage. It was to do with Facebook ads and marketing, oh, look, there was some merit to it, but then I gave him the password. I was like, man, look at it. You know, there's a lot better ones out there. And by actually, I guess he did what you did, where you can crowdsource someone that's actually done it and learn from that mistake. I think that's really powerful.
It's the best way to do it, because, you know, I could sit there and give advice on, you know, the way the website looks, the email domain, etc., so on and so forth. But really, it's getting more and more sophisticated. So really, you just ask people. Like, that's the most safe way.
Yeah, and people generally, you know, unless they, you know, link back to you through an affiliate link and whatever, like, people are generally going to be like, this is my thing. Talking about actually affiliate links on a good side of things. That was one of the first things you said you did, or one of the first things you sort of recommend to people. Where do you see the positives and negatives of that space? That's because that's a really cool marketing tool.
Absolutely. Well, it's good that you mentioned positives and negatives, because there's a lot of negatives to affiliate marketing. Because basically, I'll just quickly explain a bit about it, because a lot of people don't actually know what affiliate marketing is. So it's basically when you sell someone else's products or services. And the reason that's a problem is because a lot of people will just promote a product that they might know sucks or just not know anything about to try and make money off people. And that's when it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
And then there's also people just not disclosing the fact that they're an affiliate, which means, you know, they might not be completely honest. So it can bring problems, which is why, you know, I always recommend what I'm doing to do what I do when I do affiliations, which is I just promote products I already use, because it's a lot easier to sell something that you use and that you care about. And that's the positives. You know, if I make a YouTube channel about finance, you know, that's my example, when I love investing with a particular peer-to-peer platform, well, I can become an affiliate and share it with people like I would anyway and benefit from it, you know, in both ways. I can make money from it.
Definitely. Like I can sort of relate to that in a sense that I spent 5 years in sales and then 2 years in a business to business BDM role, and I would feel very comfortable approaching people that I knew that could possibly use the marketing platforms and things that I was using, because I could use it myself. So I think that's a key thing. If anyone's looking to go into an affiliate realm, they should actually use the products first, and that's an awesome tip for sure. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think the best thing you can do there is build your audience. If it's gaming or sports or whatever, maybe or soccer specifically, you know, build to your audience and all that. Then go, you know, I love this brand of shoes or whatever. Like afterwards, you know, don't go. I want to use these affiliates because they make a bunch of money, and then try build an audience on it, because you can't build trust and you're not being honest.
People will smoke that away in like 2 seconds. They'll see the, you know, the phrase used to be, they'll see the money in your eyes and run away. It's kind of, you know, the same sort.
I like that.
Yeah.
But you see a lot of people doing it, and that's why I've been working on it. Like a whole video where I just explain affiliate marketing, and I explain particularly that, because there's a lot of videos out there being like, I'll go on, I can't even think of the sites, all those like affiliate sites that have all the links and all that, and then like, you know, pick ones and go try sell them, and I'm like, no, you got backwards. It's never going to work.
Never going to work. Yeah, because, you know, as a marketer, you know, one of the cool things about being in the marketing industry is you get to know a lot about a lot of different products. But if you can't touch, feel, see, taste, listen to, use, your ability to sell that is far decreased. So I think that's a really good point to make. Yeah. Something I wanted to touch on that's really interesting is you've written an ebook, particularly on surveys, and this used to be a very old school thing. People would know, oh, okay, consumer research, I could go and make some money in consumer research, but then where it goes wrong is they find the website that only pays them $2 a survey or $3 a survey. You actually linked me a couple where it's actually, you know, focus research, and that's where you get the bulk of your time. What's your experience been there? You know, have you tasted some cool products as well along the way?
Yeah, absolutely. So I stumbled into that when I was quite young again. I think the first one I did, I think I was under 16, so maybe it was like 14 or 15, and it was there was like these quizzes, and I got like $100 for an hour of my time, and I was like, okay, like, and at the time that was insane. I mean, even now I think that's insane.
Even now it's insane.
Yeah, but at the time it was like exactly. So I started looking online, and I ended up getting, you know, a lot of the scammy ones, so the ones that were just complete scams and wanted your information. And then the ones, again, like you mentioned, the ones that pay $1.64 for an hour of your time. So then I just looked for ages and I found all the good ones so I could, maximize my chances of finding them and being able to make money from it. And then I figured, well, why not share that with people? So I put it all into an ebook and it's out there. It's free.
Yeah, no, it's and I've downloaded it myself. I'll chuck my hand up and say I have. Farron Research was one of them, and sadly they sent me a link this week, but the days that they were looking for were on Valentine's Day, so I think my girlfriend will be a little bit pissed off if I do that.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. I bought her flowers with the money. That's how I can get around it. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of ways to make money, and people have a job, people have side hustles. Technology, our phones has enabled us to do so many things, but I think a lot of people miss the second step, which is saving, in terms of setting up their buckets or having things in line. And what are your tips, I guess, on saving when it comes to that? Obviously, people should seek financial advice where they can, but I've got someone here who's really actively interested in money. So if that second step, what's your advice when it comes to actually keeping that money that you've made?
Yeah, well, I think you're totally right in bringing that up because, as something I've said before, and I came to repeating myself is, you can make money at step 1, step 2 is to save money, and step 3 is to invest. So if you miss that crucial middle step, you'll never make it to that third. So pretty much, beyond the common advice, to shop around, which is extremely important, bring up about your electricity bill, shop around, for phone bills, clothes, food, everything, so on and so forth. It goes further than that. So certain things, advice I'd give, is take advantage of government incentives. There's so many of them out there. There's rego, electricity, so many things out there the government will help you out with. Salary sacrificing, that saves you on tax anyway, so you actually save more of your income. So that's a way of saving money, and I don't think many people think of it like that. So it's still your money, you still have that money later. And if you're a younger person like myself, you can put that into the first home buyer scheme, and you can use that in a few years to buy a house. It's not like it's necessarily stuck there until retirement, although I don't think that's such a bad thing. It's not like that. And the other thing I always say as well is, I think from my experience, 90% of saving is just self-discipline. So most of the time when people fail to save, it's not necessarily because they can't. It's just because, it's a big mental thing. And obviously there's exceptions, but a lot of that's the experience I've had. And my advice to that is to automate your finances. So set up accounts where, a certain amount comes out, whatever amount you think you'd afford with a cushion, and put that into an account where you can't access. And, you don't have to fight with yourself then, every week or every fortnight, however often you get paid to save that money. So it takes that aspect completely out of the equation.
Definitely. And I think the other thing is that discipline, but people often will try to save, but then because the account is so linked to their spending account, it's just very easy to move the money in between, and we'll come up with excuses here and there of, I really deserve this, or that kind of thing. And I think the mental block of saving is a real crucial aspect, even if you have to do it in salary sacrifice. And, I was reading a book, Barefoot Investor. I'm not sure if he's another Australian guy, but he was, he was saying, even, after you bought your house, it increased your super to 15%, because it's saving that, you'll have for later. So, yeah, that's a very cool thing. You reacted there. Have you done much research into Barefoot?
I have, actually. So I've read his book. I've looked at a lot of his newsletters. I follow him on Facebook and all that. And I think he has a lot of good points. And I think he's a very smart guy. But the difference between, what I'm trying to do is sort of keep sort of real time knowledge coming up, that you don't have to keep buying a new book for. So that's, what I'm trying to do. No, I like his work, and I got recommended his book a while ago, and he made a lot of good points. So particularly about super, as you mentioned. And I took that advice on. I've salary sacrificed a lot. I think at one point 30%.
I was putting straight into my
You
super.
went hardcore. You went,
Yeah.
you went really into it.
Mm.
Yeah, that's cool. One of the more unique ways that you've made money as an Australian is actually through acting, and not like taking a step back like you've had major roles, but this was as an extra, and I think that was one of the really cool things when I was watching that. I've gone, wow, that's that's something every Aussie Day Australian person could do if you have the time, and you've done a couple of those now. How many do you think you've been a part of?
I probably maybe 4 or 5 at this point. There's a lot more lined up. So at the time of recording, so it's interesting because I did completely stumble into that. And the first role actually was a main role for a TV ad, and that was a big payment. And then there was extra roles and even just photo shoots and stuff like that for campaigns, and that was paying like I think the last one I did was $500, and it was a shoot that took about 15 minutes. So it's
talk
it's
about
definitely
value for your time. Sorry, yeah, talk about value for your time.
Yes, exactly, and that's something I always push as well. Like I'm always saying, I think I got from the 4-hour work week, so I'll give you credit, but basically, don't just concentrate on increasing your whole income. Concentrate on increasing the value of your time. So that's the perfect way to do it. So.
Yeah, definitely. It's think about that and the opportunity cost of it, and if it all lines up, go for it. Like that's a really cool strategy, and I think I'll try and find that video again because there's if that opportunity is out there, it's definitely worth looking into for sure.
Absolutely, and I'll let people know. There's a blog post on my site. Again, it's free. There's no charges, and I list a bunch of the agencies that I've used or that I've applied for because you don't know what to get them. So if you guys want to check them out, because they might just post one day or another looking for young people or older people of this age, this hair color, and if you fit the description, just chuck your name in the hat.
Yeah, just see how you go, and that's the thing. If you're looking to earn a little bit of extra income, like these are really cool things that you can do. Why not?
Exactly.
Why not give it a go? And the fact that it's available in Australia too, because I don't know if we have mentioned, but something that I've noticed about your YouTube channel is that it is Australian focused, and a lot of the stuff that you can find on YouTube is American focused. So that's a really cool niche that you've worked your way into. And was that one of the key motivators to start the channel as well?
Absolutely, yeah. So I think I mentioned earlier, a big part of it was helping. So to save other people sort of the struggle of finding, what's real, what's not, what's, I guess the most efficient thing. But yeah, the other part was the fact that I spent a lot of time looking up everything from credit cards to how to save money to tax. And it was just, US, got a bit of Canadian stuff. And there was very, very little on Australian content. So to answer your question, I guess somewhat briefly, yes, absolutely. That was a big motivator.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. In terms of understanding your finances, especially as a younger person, how important has getting a network around you and sort of older people? Like we've said, you've done stuff with Rotary. I've seen you're a CSA member as well. How important has those sort of mentors been for you as part of this journey? Do you think?
Incredibly. I think one of my first blog posts actually on my site was sort of advice on how to get sort of started in, I guess, entrepreneurial space. And the first thing is, find a network, find the right people to hang around, find mentors, find good friends, find people that will push you, because not only, is there for the motivational aspect, but networking, as I guess is common sense to say, they have more connections, and it just ends up being this branch where no matter what you want to get into, you or someone will know someone who can help you out there, and that you can help out. So
yeah, and that's actually one of the coolest things. I mean, I've actively for a number of reasons, like I've taken a bit of time out from the world at some points, and I guess coming back, you really get to pick and choose who you want to spend your time with, and that network of understanding who to actually reach back out to is really important. And you hear it all the time. You're the makeup of the 5 people you spend the most time with, and I think that's really, really true. But you've probably seen that as well, yeah?
Absolutely. I think I quote that 3 times a week.
to friends or family or someone that's
exactly, mostly to friends and stuff, and
they tell you to shut up. But that's
yeah, no, pretty much. But it's just, you're right, it's so true, it's so important, and no matter where you want to go, surround yourself with people in the space or who want the same thing as you, you'll end up there.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk a little bit about Instagram, because I think that's how we've met, and this is, I mean, even though we're both in Australia, like that's just awesome. And what we're doing right now, talking over the internet. What about networking on an online space? And I guess there's someone in the money space, finance space, you're using hashtags in that area. Is it very easy for you to quickly figure out who's actually genuine versus who's actually sort of spammy? Because I'm sure
yes and no.
I'm sure your inbox would be flooded sometimes.
Yeah, well, I mean, I won't say it isn't. Most days I get at least tens of messages, so anywhere up to 30, but generally at least, it's normally minimum of 15 a day. And I will admit, again, like I think I mentioned earlier, it is a lot harder to tell these days because people have links and they have, it's easy to edit sort of income reports, and it's easy to say, you're $1 million entrepreneur and write that in your bio. So it can be difficult. Yeah, but I suppose. Yeah. Generally, what I do is I look for some sort of again, social proof is a big thing, but also I jump in a meeting with a lot of people. I must have more than 10 meetings a week just with people, because when you get into a meeting, it's a lot harder to kind of lie your way through. It's very easy to write entrepreneur on your Instagram page and again write $1 million affiliate or whatever. Then it is to sort of explain in detail how you did it, over a meeting. So. I would say no, it's not easy.
Yeah, because anyone can say anything, and it's very easy to doctor up a profile. But I guess the powerful thing is the ability to create relationships through online forums and really connect out even further. Because as you say, like one person will know another person, and I think that's really cool as well. The amount of advice that's online too is very, very awesome if you know what you're doing. It's very cool that we sort of live in this age where we're able to do that, I'd say. Yeah.
Exactly. No, I agree with that. I was just thinking that today. I think a lot of days I just think how grateful I actually am that, like, literally everything I want to do or might want to do and I don't even know I want to do yet is available on the internet teaching me exactly how. And most of it is free. Like, even though there's courses, most of the time you can find it online for free. And just, I guess, commenting on the connections and all that, like you mentioned, we met via Instagram, and I've met a lot of connections from Australia and worldwide that I've ended up meeting up in real life and becoming friends with through the internet. So I couldn't preach that more. And I'd say majority, probably 80% of the people I know I met online.
Yeah, and it's quite funny. We were supposed to meet up in person, but then I was too tired from the flight over, so that was my fault. Even though we were only in 10 minutes away from each other, but I guess you were halfway through moving house and everything. But one day we'll get there. I've been meaning to go to Canberra, so we'll get there. We will.
One day. Have faith.
That's it, man. Awesome. I think that's a really cool spot to end it. But yeah, look, if somebody has heard anything, they want to grab a copy of your ebook about the surveys, or they want to reach out to you as well. How would people reach out to yourself?
Yeah, sure. So pretty much all my handles on everything. So on Facebook, I've got a page, and obviously my profile, it's at Aussie Money Man. YouTube at Aussie Money Man. I've got a website. You just type in Aussie Money Man in Google, it will come up. And my Instagram again is at Aussie Money Man. So if you type that in anywhere, you'll pretty much find me somewhere.
You've claimed the handles. You've claimed all the handles. That's good.
Yeah, I'm onto it.
No, brilliant. All right, well, mate, thank you for that, and also thank you. Hopefully, due to editing, you guys haven't heard this, but we had a lot of trouble setting this up. So, thank you for listening, and thank you for yourself, Nick, for actually being patient with that. That's really awesome. yeah, but yeah, that's the 12th episode. I've been Tim, and this has been Nick, and we've been talking. All right, there you go. There's the interview with Nicholas Muscat. Hopefully you guys got some value from that. I'd just like to point out, we actually did this interview over a Zoom call, which really had a bad internet connection. So unfortunately, a lot of the interview was cut. Nick was awesome about it, and I really want to thank him for that. So yeah, really go and check out his stuff on YouTube for more value in terms of the side hustles and the things he does to make money in really creative ways. Yeah, I want to thank Nick again, and hopefully we can do another interview soon.